So someone asked, what is a mamzer? And they wanted to get into, I guess, a debate about what is considered a bastard, and that it was the same as a mamzer in Judaism. And I was trying to explain to them that simply is not the case, and dictionaries and definitions matter, because based off of Judaism, a mamzer is basically someone who was born of a union that is considered an abomination to the Lord. Now, someone who was born out of wedlock is not considered an abomination to the Lord. Someone who is born out of wedlock is someone who's simply born out of wedlock. There are many of the nation of Israel who were born of concubines. They were born out of wedlock. That's not to say someone who married and had dozens of wives. Those were not considered bastards because they were born from wives. Even someone who had 1,000 wives, all of their children were legitimate children because they were born of marriages. Now, a concubine makes bastards. We all know about, the other ones that make bastards too. So we're not going to talk about that. But relating just to mamzers. So a mamzer is of a union that came about through incest or adultery. For example, the Ammonites and the Moabites, they came about through incest. That's Lot's descendants with his daughters, right? Another example of individuals who came through a form of adultery would be like, trying to think about it. I can't think about it. I'm trying to think who committed adultery. I'm sure it's going to pop into my mind as soon as I end this recording. I apologize. I can't remember right now. But let's think of another one. Okay, so Judah and Tamar, right? So Judah, his sons kept dying, and Tamar was down to the youngest son. She was supposed to marry him through Levitical law, right? If your brother's dies and he doesn't have an heir, then the next brother would marry the wife. So Judah didn't want his youngest son to die, so he was like, you know what, I'm just going to send her off and no one's going to marry her. She could just sit in her widowdom over there. And she goes to the temple, covers herself with a veil, pretending to be one of the harlots that apparently would hang outside the synagogues or temples, I don't know. And he propositions her. She agrees, and their union was considered an adulterous affair. Thank you, merciful HaShem. It was considered an abomination unto the Lord because she had obviously relations with her husbands who were his son. That was a union that should have never been. So their descendants were mamzers. But you know what's funny? Look at the line of their descendants, right? Who comes after those mamzer descendants? I'm glad you asked. So from Judah and Tamar come Perez. Perez and Zerah. From Perez comes the line of King David. Isn't that hilarious? And I mean hilarious, like, surprisingly, surprise, Anyhow, the point is this. Definitions matter. I don't think we should just say words just to be shocking or throw insults or whatever it is, because that's known as trying to provoke someone. And we all know provoking comes from not a good place, especially if you're trying to provoke someone to anger. So I want to encourage others just get a dictionary. Look it up. It's not a big deal. But I do enjoy questions and comments. So thank you for your comment and comments in your email. And now we all know the true definition of a mamzer. All right. Take care and God bless.